folks, welcome back to the channel. This video, I thought I'd do a little festive season book haul. You'll have seen if you watched my 2022 goals video, you'll have seen that I put myself essentially on a book buying ban because I have obtained way too many books this year. Well, last year. So I thought, why not start the year with a book haul, and hopefully it will be one of the last, or it'll do. I'm thinking I might do like quarterly book hauls where I show you guys the books I get within my subscription boxes. But yeah, this will be my last main book haul. I've only really done one of these before, and I've acquired a lot more books in between those, but we won't talk about those. No. So yeah, I thought I'd show you basically what I got over the Christmas period, both for Christmas and from subscription boxes. So yeah, the first one I'm going to show you is the only book that I really got for Christmas. My cat's now playing in a box, so if you hear random noises, I'm not going to point the camera to her because I've got laundry in between there. But she's now in a box. She's a cat, what can I say? But yeah, anyway, the only book that I actually got gifted for Christmas, I got gifted. People don't tend to give me books for Christmas because I own so many. They don't know what to get me that I haven't already bought, which is totally fair enough. But yeah, this one, my brother was asking me what I wanted and he was really struggling, so I just sent him the link and I got Empire the Vampire. I kind of wanted this one on, I prefer paperbacks, but I kind of wanted this one on hardback just because it is such a beautiful cover, and occasionally they will change the cover for the paperback and I didn't want to risk that. And this one is just so beautiful. So got this gorgeous dust cover with gorgeous artwork, and then you get this embossing, this beautiful shield on the actual cover, and it's just, everything about this book is just so pretty. It's even illustrated throughout, so I don't know, like, I know a lot of people have already read this and I'm not showing you like a new out there like rare book, but there is not enough people talking about the artwork in this book because it is just so pretty. So this was the book I got for Christmas. Okay, I'll sort that out later. Then it was also my birthday at the weekends, the 8th of January. So I did get I got some book vouchers. A friend, we went out for lunch, and then she handed me my birthday present, which was this cute little sloth planter, which I should have taken upstairs to show you, but I didn't. And then she also handed me some Waterstones vouchers. So I immediately after lunch dragged her to Waterstones to help me spend my vouchers. So the first one I got was the Grandmaster Demon of Cultivation? Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. There is a Chinese, it's a very shiny cover, there is a Chinese live action drama on Netflix, I believe, called The Untamed. This is the book it's based on. It's basically about a warrior who, I don't know, he basically like makes a deal with demons, I think, for extra powers, and then sort of in his timeline the people surrounding him go from like really worshipping him and adoring him to being really fearful of him, to the point that when he dies there's a celebration, and then he is then reborn generations later. He's basically, someone else sacrifices themselves so he can come back to have revenge on someone for them. I don't know, it seems very convoluted, it's very drama like. I believe it is gay historical fantasy fiction. The show is, I believe there's a little bit of Chinese censorship going on. This is what my friend has told me. She has been after me to watch the show, The Untamed, I think it's called, for weeks now, and I'm like, yeah, I will totally get around to this, and I will one day get around to watching it because it does sound hilarious. But yeah, because of censorship, it's less gay and more lots of longing stares, and it's like, this is not gay but it totally is, but it's not but it totally is. So yeah, this just, she has also read the book and she says it's really fun, you know, she's giggling a lot of the time, so I don't know when I'm going to get around to reading this, but I don't know, it just sounds fun. And it's nice to read something that you know someone else is really into and is really been enjoying. So when I read this, I'll be able to go to her, oh my god, this part or whatever. Yeah. So then I still had some money left over on my vouchers, and Waterstones in their cons, they're ever present buy one get one half price sale. So I got the Waterstones exclusive cover of Ariadne, which is a retelling of like the story of Mitos and the Minotaur. This is Ariadne is the Minotaur's sister, I believe, and it's a sort of like focus on it's a female centric focus. I think I could be wrong. Who knows? But it's a really pretty cover. So they had this cover and just the normal cover next side by side, and I really really preferred this cover. It's just so pretty. I just think like the cream with the blue accents works a lot better than the blue with the cream accents. My humble opinion. And then because I've seen this book doing the rounds quite a bit, and it's the closest thing I'm going to get to reading a new release other than my Fairy Loot subscription this year, I got We Hunt the Flame, which I've no idea. I'm going to read the back of you because I've actually no idea what this is about. Oh, this was the Genderbend one. That's why I really wanted it. Okay, right. Zephyra is the hunter. Forced to disguise herself as a man, she risks everything to provide for her people. Nasir is the Prince of Death, a feared assassin who is forever bound to the command of his father, the Sultan. Both are legends in their kingdom, but neither wants to be. And when Zephyra embarks on a dangerous quest to return magic to their suffering land, Nasir is sent on a similar mission, but as their journey unfolds, an ancient evil begins to stir. That's why I've been wanting to pick this one up. Not only is it doing the rounds, it's a gender bend and there's assassins. These are like two of my favourite tropes. I love a gender bend. Love it. So yeah, those are the ones that I have either been gifted or have been gifted via vouchers. Yeah. Okay, so the next one, there are 5 books here that these are just the ones that have come with my subscriptions this month. 6 books here. These are the ones that have come with my subscriptions. So the first one is the Coldest Touch. This is definitely not one I would have picked up for myself, so I'm really curious to read it and see how I get on with it. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm reading it going, you could be okay, but you could be a bit Twilight-y. And I don't like Twilight, I'm sorry. I know it's really popular, but it cured me of my completionism. I will never put myself through reading an entire series I dislike that much again. But yeah, this is basically about a girl who every time she touches someone, she predicts their death. And it all kind of comes to a head when she predicts the death of her brother, but can't do anything to prevent it. She can predict, she can't prevent. And then she meets a vampire called Claire, who is basically sent by his organization to help her cultivate and control her gifts. Presumably they're going to want something out of it. And as you can see from the cover, it's about their budding relationship. I am a little curious to see how her gift works with a vampire. Is it because the vampire's already dead, she might not be able to predict a death for them, but vampires can still be defeated, kind of killed, so I'm curious to see where the author goes with that, but other than that, that's the main draw. I don't know. But yeah, that one was basically the extra book that we got in December's Fairy Loot. So the main book, which I'm a lot more excited about. Hello. You're going to say hello? Is Maisie going to say hello? You're going to say hello to the camera? Yeah? No? No, she's not the cuddliest cat. She likes her own space. But I thought she'd say hello. Since she's here. Yes. Just try to figure out how to get past my pile of books now. But yeah, no, the main Fairy Loot book that we got this month was Year of the Reaper by Micaiah Lucier. This is the Fairy Loot exclusive cover. I believe the original cover is more like a burgundy, but I think I've had a look. There's subtle differences in the actual cover. It's not going to make that big a difference. beautiful black sprayed edges. I love a sprayed edge. But what it does have is this embossing on the main cover, not on the back, but it's just really pretty, and then just some really pretty artwork throughout. Okay, I've got that there. And yeah, this is basically, from what I can gather from the blurb, which is a bit too long to read out, I think, is basically young boy, well, I say young boy, like late teens, is sent off on a mission by his father, who's like the local lord. He gets captured, he spends a couple of years basically rotting in a dungeon before he either is released or gets free, or however he somehow makes his way free. He makes his way home to find that the land is suffering from this terrible plague, but there's suspicions that the plague is not entirely natural, so he needs to team up with whoever he needs to team up to figure out what's going on there. This one definitely sounds a lot more interesting than the other Fairy Loot book. So yeah, I'm curious, and I'm not 100% certain when I'm going to get around to this, but who knows. And then there was my Box of Stories books. The Box of Stories is sort of like a subscription. I know I can get it in the UK, and it is UK based, but I don't know if you can get it elsewhere. But they basically take books that would otherwise be being sent to pulp, that would be being destroyed, that they've either seriously overestimated how much print they needed, or they've just not sold well, or for one reason or another are being sent to be mashed up and recycled and destroyed or whatever. So I have the fantasy sci-fi specific genre book, and this month it was completely sci-fi. There was no fantasy this month. Now I predominantly read fantasy, so I don't know, I'm both a little bit disappointed that there's no fantasy in there, but I'm also quite excited because I am branching out into sci-fi, and it's really nice to see that there's other stuff there. And it's, yeah, half the time I don't even know where to start, so this is giving me a really nice starting point. So the first one I got was Doggerland, which I think is a bit more literary sci-fi. These ones I am just going to read you the back of the book because I don't know how else to describe them. So the back of the book for this one, it's, "I'll get out," he said. "I'll come back for you, okay?" The boy believed it once, knew his father couldn't just disappear off the rig. There had to be a plan. But the turbines keep spinning until each begins to break, and the salt air turns everything to rust. And the wind howls, and the ocean swells, and the old man keeps his nets out, not looking for fish, but dredging up the past. So when the boy accidentally uncovers secrets the rig has long been holding on to, he begins to hope again. It could finally lead him back to his father, and maybe back to dry land. So I think this is going to potentially be sort of like a relatively near future dystopian set on windmills. I don't know, it could be interesting. I suspect it's going to be one of those where we never really get to know the names of the characters. And the prose is definitely going to be one of the highlights of this book. So there's that. The next one it's called Rejoice by Stephen Erickson. This was like a pleasant surprise, I think. I didn't realize Stephen Erickson wrote anything other than Melisan. I did try reading Melisan last year. I read the first one. I got not even halfway through the second one, and yeah, it made it onto my bottom 5 reads this year. So Melisan is not the series for me, so it'll be interesting to read his sci-fi, see if I got on better with that. It's also a much more manageable size than Melisan. I've actually been doing a little bit of an unhaul, so I have Gardens of the Moon, which is the first one. Can you see the size in those books? Look at the size of those books. It's crazy. Melisan is like almost 1,000 pages. The first one is 700, not 1,000, but... And this one is only 400 pages. I did not know he could write a book that small. So, yeah. This is basically about an alien AI that has made it into our solar system. Its purpose is to basically save the planet, and it has to decide whether saving the planet means saving us or getting rid of us. You know, I think it's going to be It's going to be a lessony book. It's you know it's not taking any pains to be subtle. I don't think. It's also quite floppy. I do enjoy a floppy book. So yeah, this one I'm relatively excited about. Then there is Ruin's Wake by Patrick Edwards. Ruin's Wake imagines a world ruled by a totalitarian government where history has been erased and individual identity is replaced by the machinations of the state. As the characters try to save what they hold most dear, in one case a dying son, in the other a secret love, their fates converge to a shared destiny. A young woman trapped in an abusive marriage with a government official finds hope in an illicit love. An old soldier in exile embarks on a desperate journey to find his dying son. And a scientist uncovers a mysterious technology that reveals that her world is more fragile than she believed. So, very sci-fi, very dystopian, totalitarian. It's a really difficult word to say. Yeah, very. I don't know. I'm either going to really like this book or I'm going to absolutely hate this book. It's going to go one way or the other. I don't think there's going to be an in between. So that's that one. And then the last one is E.M. Brown's Buying Time. And in this one, no man is rich enough to buy back his past. Aging screenwriter Ed Ritchie wakes up one morning to find himself 9 months in his own past. The following day he jumps 3 years. What's happening to him? Is he going mad? Where will it end? In 2030, 13 years after Ritchie's jaunt begins, journalist Ella Croft is investigating the life of screenwriter and celebrated novelist Ed Ritchie, who mysteriously vanished years before. She interviews friends, acquaintances, old lovers, and uncovers something that will change her life forever. This one, I think this is the one I'm most intrigued by because I think it's going to be very much a character study. Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I don't have much more to say. That was my festive book haul, shall we call it? Not as much. I mean, it's still a sizable book haul, but I know compared to some others out there, it's not as much. But I think it's quite manageable. I have plans definitely for Empire and the Vampire. I want to start this month, and then hopefully get into a couple of those next month as well. Yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed it. If anyone has read any of these books, then please let me know what you think about them. Is there any I should bump up the list? Any I should be really excited about? Yeah, and I will see you in the next video.